Let's try a couple of Tainted Lost to Dogma runs. Whoops. I kind of just want to play something straightforward, and Lost is really the only straightforward character there is. I gotta remind myself to take a controller with me. Yeah, I was gonna say, I figure Kentucky, like Richmond, is getting down to freezing overnight. Then in the 50s during the day. That said, while I'm in Kentucky, it's gonna get up into the 70s here. Like low 70s. Which I think is high teens. Yeah, I'll have to take, I mean, I say I'm gonna take a look at the weather, but I'm gonna be inside for an entire week, so I'll probably just wear exactly what I normally wear. Jeans and t-shirts. It ain't sexy, but it's a start. It ain't sexy, but it's useful. Anchi Mayan, greetings. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to buy a suit or a collared shirt and slacks. I don't want to work under. I don't want to accept that this new weight is my permanent weight. I was doing a real good job of getting started getting it off before the subathon hit. And once I get on the other side of this vasectomy, I feel like I can get back into that again. I should just be counting my calories, if nothing else. I shouldn't use the inability to go reliably to the gym as an excuse to just not fast and to not like make progress otherwise. I feel appropriately critical of myself about that. But if I can get back from this Louisville trip and start to get my feet back underneath me, I'd like to start peeling off weight again. Small rock? Key. It's a bunch of gamers. I don't think they'll be well dressed. Unfortunately, that's true. The only person that I've ever seen, like, a lot of women dress well at cons, and then Kong fan. women and Kong fan. Maybe Sacriel. There are a couple of guys who dress to the nines, but it is not a lot. It's a spacebar item. That was a real dicey throw. That was a real dicey throw. Because I was awfully close to Monstro there. We have the same tiers as... We have virtually the same tier statistic as we had at the end of the last run. On the second floor. Our tiers were not very good the last run. We made it work though. Holy shit! I don't know that I've ever seen it bounce off a wall like that before. As I say, I'm married with children. If I wanted to do well, the biggest temptation to not doing No Nut November would be a long hot shower. Otherwise, yeah, the rest of it all but takes care of itself. Between that and the vasectomy, it's already kind of a no-go for me anyway. Good news, everyone. Apartment approved for December 1st. New job at a medical dispensary approved for December 5th. Our move to Jacksonville is underway. Loft Thriller, congratulations. That's incredibly exciting. Super cool. I gotta get lists going, man. I need some... I mean, like, the subathon was the thing that I looked forward to for, like, a quarter of a year. And now that that's happened, like... I'm doing Minecraft, but I'm doing it with a healthy dose of... Not skepticism, but, like, there's always a chance it might not work out as a thing that I genuinely enjoy. I would be surprised, but, like... you know, I have no idea. I felt the same way the first time I went to St. Jude. Is that right if I ask why I get a vasectomy? Because the idea of an oops baby at 41 is way more terrifying than the idea of an oops baby at 17. I guess because ultimately now I'm old enough to know how bad I would fuck my life if I accidentally got my wife pregnant. Plus I would never have to worry about buying condoms again. Well, I've missed on all these secret rooms. Hard same. Oh yeah, it's like maybe it's just that I was at 17. I'm like, oh man, what have I done? Oh well, I still have my whole life ahead of me, and by the time me and this kid are technically done with each other, I'll still be in my 30s. I'm 41 now, which means if I had a kid, like if I got Amber pregnant today, I'd have it at 42, which means I'd be 60 by the time that kid graduated high school. And his brother Grayson would be a decade older than him. More than a decade. His brother Grayson would be 12 years older than him, and his brother Rory would be almost a decade older than him. Or her, for that matter. Just we seem to be very efficient at cranking out boys. Yeah, that feels like my chest, like I have no doubt that I would love this child, like I would love an oops baby with all my heart. But I also have no doubt that right now just the thought of having another baby at 42 years old makes my chest tight the way a zombie movie makes my chest tight. Yeah, by the time a kid I would have in the next calendar year would go to college, I would be in my 60s. I'm 43, my kid's 6, so I feel super old already. You start like when you're about, yeah, I'm not quite halfway getting my kids through high school and getting my kids to adulthood. I'm not quite halfway. But that said, there's already a part of me that to a certain extent, be it ever so slightly, that Amber and I are starting to look forward a little bit to reclaiming a little bit of our independence and the fun and exciting things we might be able to do with the latter end of our 50s, the last gasp of what can be technically considered our adult youth, where our bodies aren't completely spent. And if we have an oops baby, a lot of that just flies the fuck out the window, never to return. 12 years is the difference between my youngest sibling and me. I mean, it's doable. People do it all the time. I don't want to stigmatize it, but it doesn't change the fact that it definitely changes the dynamic pretty aggressively. Like Rory and Grayson, I'd like to believe that they'll be friends. I'd like to believe that my sons will stay friends through their adult lives. But every family that I know of, including some that I'm related to, where there's like 8, 10, 15-year differences between kids, they're aware of each other, and they're not like, not all of them are mean to each other, but like, the younger ones are friends with the younger ones, and the older ones are friends with the older ones, and it's almost like they're from separate families. And then, yeah, and then having like really old parents, like, you know, hey, is your dad gonna come out and play catch with us? No, he'd blow out his hip. No, that's my old man's got COPD and arthritis, and he can't hear so well, so he wouldn't be able to hear the snap count, so I don't think he's coming out today. There's 19 years between me and my youngest sibling. They could be my child. Schmidt, what's going on? My brother's 21 years older than our youngest sibling. He has a kid 2 years younger. Yeah, products of divorce and remarrying. That's my mom's side of the family too. My mom's got like half brothers and half sisters. Ooh, that was a little scary. Again, a little closer than I wanted it to be. Ugh. I genuinely don't think I take either of these. I don't want to lock in deals with the devil necessarily. There's some, I mean, Holy Mantle would be fucking dynamite. Can you get Holy Mantle? I don't know if you can get Holy Mantle. Holy Mantle might have been one of those items that was taken out of the item pool. I also know that it's harder to get, it's virtually impossible to get Guppy. Because they took, I think they took 9 lives out. Blech. I'm not friends with my brothers, I'm the oldest and not a druggie. Shit. Yeah, that's I'm absolutely doing my best with Amber to make sure that we raise 2 kids who are able to like each other so that they will stay friends after we're gone. By the way, Taffy, how's your hip? My hip's fine. It's my lower back that's been jacked since my lower back is screwy, but that's not fair. My lower back has been screwy since I was 17. So it feels unfair to put that on age, because I messed that up before I was technically even an adult, and it's just stayed messed up. My aunt and uncle had an oops baby. He's 15 to 20 years younger than his next sibling. He's the same age as his oldest cousin from that sibling. No Holy Mantle on Tainted Lost? Bummer. Well, I mean, like, no Holy Mantle achievable? Gross. Like, I understand that the Lost doesn't start with it. The Tainted Lost doesn't start with it, but I can't remember if Holy Mantle was removed from the Angel deal. Single kid kind of sucks. You got to do all the estate stuff when you're dead. 2 kids can split the responsibility. I genuinely think, had I been more financially secure and had Amber not, like, Amber and I were torn about whether or not we were going to have a 3rd kid. But then she got cancer, and that just kind of sorted that. One of the many things that cancer took away from us was the ability to choose whether or not we were going to have a 3rd child. So yeah, we genuinely thought we might try for a 3rd. We were up in the air about it, but otherwise, like two kids feels pretty good. We didn't. My uncle has 9. My uncle has 3 girls and 6 boys on a pastor's living. And while I love my uncle, it's just kind of like, how do you have 9 kids and not have some of them fall through the cracks? You know what I mean? It's different if it's like Little House on the Prairie times, because one of them's gonna die to the consumption, one of them's gonna die to a grizzly bear, and one of them's gonna catch a stray arrow. So I understand having like 9 kids in that situation. Sub count, it's literally right over there. Like, it takes up the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. It's shocking, almost 2K subs. I had a subathon, and I'm also very good at what I do. That's gonna sound like there's some sort of punchline coming, but there's no punchline coming. I'm very good at this.
1 makes you lost.
That is not what I want. As I genuinely think that's the 2nd secret room, and I think Bob's brain, or sorry, Bob's rotten head used to be reliable for busting open 2nd secret rooms. That's fucking exceptional. That's less good. Bob's rotten head used to be good for knocking open secret rooms, and now it looks like it just ricochets off unless you land it right at the base, almost like you're laying up with a 9-iron onto the green, you know? Ooh. Or Sokoe, that's very kind of you to say. That's I am very good at this. My viewership doesn't blow people out of the water, like the numbers. Oh god, I was talking so Mr. 891, or sorry, 819, I'm shorting myself. Mr. 819 was talking to Nate and Darkosto, and Darkosto was asking questions because of where we landed on the list. That's right. As Callie has said, this community brings some real deep vag energy to the internet. Darkosta was looking at it and he goes, "Damn, Taffy, damn." And I was like, "Yeah, right. It's something else." And he says, "Does that include your? Does that include? Oh my God, I almost walked into that. Your Twitch contract?" And I said, "It does not." And he kind of paused and he said, "There are people on this list that have like 5, 6, 7 times your viewership, and you're outpacing them." And I said, "Yeah, I am aware." You know, like I am strangely okay. Hold on one second. Oh, you fuck yourself! God damn it, Fallen. We are in desperate need of another card now. Sometimes, man, they just don't give you shit. I mean, Brimstone's great, but we didn't get that from the room. Holy shit! Holy shit! Well, that'll get us back up to an even 2,000. That's an example of why it can sit at 2,000 subs when I have 143 viewers. Logged in just in time for the fireworks. Holy shit, Torin. Yeah, weirdly, this is normal. And it brings me back to why I was talking about me talking to Darkosto. Darkosto said that he would be super interested in seeing if there's a way to take concurrent, like to scrape Sully Gnome and take concurrent viewership for that list, and then take the $ and divide it by the concurrent viewers for each person on that 10,000 person list, and then reorganize it to say, here's what each one of these streamers makes dollar amount per viewer, and rank them based on like Taffy's able to extract blank numbers of dollars per each one viewer he normally has in chat, versus like so-and-so who has 5,000 viewers but makes like $100 a week because people don't feel inclined to give them like bits and subs and all that jazz. And so Darkosto's thing was, I'd be curious to see where Taffy's rank falls among dollars per viewer pans out. I think we would break the top 100, if I'm being honest. I don't think it would be too hard to do. I think it's just taking the time to do it. Nate might do it over the weekend. If you can believe this, chat, Nate has told me that he now takes weekends off. That this man who used to just work until his body stopped apparently logs out on Friday afternoon and doesn't log back in until Monday. I have to read these out loud. As is custom of our people, Torin just gifted 49 subs, and sooner or later things will update here. But I'm gonna read each and every one of these because, you know, that's a lot of money. That's well over $200. So, Say Himzel, Musgrob, Ryan Bighead, Layla, Danny Fallen Fire, and Gatorbot, I May Be Reptard, J McG Plays, Forticon, J8S8K, Intian, Mitch Please, DC Gamer, those are a couple of names I haven't said in a hot minute. Boney Skellerman, Ioself, Dat Lore Guy, Judge Justin, Stakenborg, Pakhapa, De Zebra, De Bubble, Vigolius, CJ Earth, Crab Herder, Alpha Tater, Gaelic Hellross, Sheepy Amaya, A Rogue Pigeon, Toon Flux, Vivisections, The Phantom Virus, Infiniential, Mr. B. Holland, Blue Jay official Zandeezy, Jeff Flack Vastscaft. Oh, fuck, that's like in Dutch. I just butchered Dutch. That's my bad. The Sauce Boss, Wandering Omen, Liam P, Solid Diarrhea, Wavy Box, Casimo, Lady Indigo, Danny Nopez, Sinez TV, Zombrew, Cyrus Trox, and Not Riley. There's a bunch of high quality snipes in that list. If that was a trading card game, you'd have had a couple of rares and a couple of foils in there. High quality snipes in there. Yay, I got one. Enjoy the emotes, everybody. We have really, really good ones. Use them wherever emotes are allowed. 819 on the leaked list, number 1 in our hearts. Nate has free time. Nate has free time now. Nate has said that now that he's not solely responsible for the success or failure of the company. I mean, obviously other people worked on Pretzel before as well, but when you're the CEO, the buck stops with you. And so now that Nate is no longer the person on whom everyone else depends on, now that he's not the only person responsible for the success or failure of the company, he fucking takes weekends off, man. I am gonna take the D1 just in case we find a holy card. Success is Pretzel's success now rides on my new boss's shoulders. Neat. How did you, let's see, anyone who got a sub from me, don't feel the need to pay it forward, just enjoy the emotes. Don't you fucking listen to him. You feel obliged, all 49 of you feel obliged to pay it forward. Don't even pay forward just one. Show Sir Slash and Smash, who's boss, pay forward 5. Alexa, what's 49 times 5? Thank you. 245, just to put Torin in his place. He's absolutely right. Don't feel obliged to pay it forward. Just enjoy the emotes. Torin, thank you for your incredible generosity. I very much appreciate you. How'd you... That's not what... Stop. I feel gross. It feels gross. I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like an asshole. Stop that now. Immediately. Cease and desist. Musgrove has sent a message and I have not enjoyed what the message said. I feel gross. Don't do that anymore. Oh shit. I meant it! Hella Zach! Knock that shit off! Although I gotta say a hype train would probably be finished by the time it started. As long as we're one... Yeah, there you go. See, let's fuck around and find out. You guys are fucking idiots. Oh my god. You gotta be careful what tone of voice you use around here. Boy, fuck around and find out is a thing that seems to happen a lot here. Sir Koei, if you figure it out, you let me know. If you figure it out, you tell me how I've managed to have this weird cult leader-like influence over people. No one's more confused than I am. I blame Musgrove, really. There are people who could argue that this is my fault for putting that evil into the world. But I think, even more so than Sidewinder, this falls on Musgrove's plate. Person sent one message here, thanking Torin for their gifted sub. They wait for me to inevitably say something stupid and then pounce on it. I see Torin's alt account. I play this game. Musgrove gifts 5, Ravenus 123, Fallen Glory Fook.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the
12A8, Baited Kate and Deadflip. Good old Deadflip. I was talking about him earlier. I'm trying to find a Deadpool machine in Richmond that me and Amber and the boys can go play once they've gotten their first stick. We're trying to decide between Deadpool and the Mandalorian for a pinball machine for our house. Saying thank you to the Echo gives you a free pass, past day pass in the coming of the robot revolution. That's how I'm where I've watched Westworld. I 100% don't survive Westworld, so I'm starting to be polite now. Hella Zach with 5 gifted, Bill Culp, Johnny Bravo PT, Master 906, Big Bear Kraus, and Exozia. Recipients of 5 generously gifted from Hella Zach. Sidewinder with 5 gifted. Snipes Monkeyism. I hope she's doing well. Nolt Hard Rock. Rune D13. Phaedron. Aw, I like Phaedron. I think I get to see Phaedron in this upcoming Minecraft thing. And Burzis. Thank you, Sidewinder, for 5 gifted. Lammer with 5 gifted. Kari, Mad Bad Hair. Nimhan from Void. Rad Hazard, and Snails, Slugs, and Automobiles. Lammer, thank you so much. Good ones in that list as well. Devons with 5 gifted. Shadow Sentota. Zeknos. Tiny Goblin Socks. Galangala. 404 Network Error. Devons, thank you for the 5 gifted. Viking Warlock, you sneaky shithead. Blaze Phoenix. Bahamut. Irate Moth. Gerbs, and Bella Nami. Viking, thank you for the 5 gifted, and welcome, brother. Wandering Omen paying forward the gifted sub they got from Torin. Miyakana, Iguanas Run Funny, Namumu, Gaspar Costa, and a Plinko Ball. I like that name. Wandering Omen, thank you for the 5. Deranged Optician Tier 1 gifted sub goes to Ron Solo. Wednesday with 100 itty bitty bits. Johnny Bravo PT, greetings and salutations, welcome. Enjoy the emotes, everybody. R. Ripper. Let's just go Ripper. I don't need to read the additional letters. Ripper gifts 5. He sells seashells. The Mexican. Shit, that's a name I haven't said in a hot minute. If that's the one that I'm thinking of. There's a viewer called The Mexican that used to really be active here. I hope that's the same one. I missed that person, and I hope they're doing well. Hassan, Alosaurus Rar, and Big Law. Mod from over at Justin's channel. Big Law gets sniped by Ripper. Rini says, for those who don't know, not only has Taffy been gifted a pergola, the same person has gifted $9,000 towards a pinball machine, again with meme money. I have been kind of locked up, Rini. Okay. With you in a minute. Because obviously we got permission from our financial planner. We got permission from our financial planner to start looking for a car for Amber. We've been a 1-car family through most of the pandemic, and now we're ready to be a 2-car family again. It's a shitty time to buy a car, but it's not going to get any better anytime soon. But Champion asked if he dropped 35 grand to buy the minivan, if he got to pick the vanity plate. And I don't know if he's kidding or not. I don't know if he knows if he's kidding or not. Oh, Aliette, we're looking at a Toyota Sienna, which is one of only 2 hybrid minivans on the market. Starts at 35 manufacturer suggested retail price, but gets 38 miles to the gallon for a minivan. We need the space. We like the idea of having 3rd row seating because the boys are not getting smaller and they just have more and more shit to lug around. So we like nobody wants to drive a minivan, but it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, this Toyota Sienna is one of 2 hybrid minivans on the market. The other one's a Chrysler, and it's like 45 to start, so, you know, no, probably not. But this Toyota Sienna is $35,000, but it gets 38 miles to the gallon. And it would just be the car that we would have until the boys left for college. Major League Saturday. No shit, Sean. Thank you guys so much. Let's not ignore that Geist came in and dropped 10,000 bits and says early morning hype. Before the the Sam train, I asked Happy, how'd you meet Not? Remind me, the scam train. I've also heard you talk about being an actor and starting a company with him, but what was the transition? D-Blade, I just noticed that you gifted a tier 1 sub to Brown Bear. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Brown Bear, please enjoy the emotes and welcome back. God, that's a name I haven't said in a minute either. Guys, thank you for the 10,000 bits. Genuinely, I have no idea. Like, obviously, the subathon was ape shit, and that is enough money to have made my October and my November. But going on the road for a week and trying to stream from someplace that's not my office makes me super nervous. A good Saturday with, you know, a good Saturday launch off into the drive to Louisville tomorrow will put my mind at ease a little bit, so thank you for that. Level 5 sub train, hype train, 42 subs and 10,100 bits. You're mad. You're all mad, lads. I swear Champion is fucking like an old money oil tycoon or something. Taffy, I say this with all the absolute love in the world, but what the fuck is your life? Hot damn. And fuck you a little, but seriously, it makes me so happy that your family's taken care of. Nobody's more confused than I am, Reenie, honestly. When this first started happening, and I do want to... Ooh, shit, that's right. If I get hit, the run's over. It's fine. You'll be shocked to hear I'm in a pretty good mood now.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the
So if we die, and we'll just start over again. That was fun. Time to try to sleep again. Shit. Musgrove, thank you so much. You're gonna fit in just fine here. I appreciate the devilry from you. Devins turns around and gives 3 months of gifted tier 1 subs to Aliette. Aliette, cover yourself. Hide your shame. How dare you show up naked to my stream. Devins, thank you for getting them dressed. Some people, you know. Oh shit, where is he? I can smell you. Honestly, Reenie, I don't know. It wasn't like this. For a long time, it wasn't like this. For a long time, I was just like every other streamer on the planet. For a long time, I was thrilled. For a long time, I was thrilled. You little rat bastard. I was thrilled if I made $100 in a 7-hour stream day. I would run out of the office and tell Amber about it if I made $100, if I broke triple digits. If I broke triple digits in a 7-hour stream day, I would go out and the first thing I'd do would be to brag to Amber about what a great day I'd had. But $100 a day, $100 a day is not enough money to justify all of this and raise 2 kids as the lone source of income in a house. And so we were staring down the barrel of straight up bankruptcy. And I was not gonna quit streaming. But I had to genuinely be honest with myself about whether or not I was gonna have to go get other jobs. And then one day, I can't tell you why, but then one day, all of a sudden the tenor of the channel changed, and Acid Trip and Glitch specifically, and JJ Madison, all 3 started to pop off. And the rest of the channel, instead of being like, oh, we've got 3 new whales in chat, look at that, 3 new high rollers, we gotta try our best to see if we can get them to do memey things. Everybody else who was around ponied up as well. And I kept waiting for it to go back to the way it was, and then it just never did. And I don't feel like I've done anything different. I just feel like, we were saying it's lightning in a bottle, right? That it's lightning in a bottle, but We were also saying a couple of days ago that if you want to catch lightning in a bottle, you gotta buy a bottle and go stand in the fucking storm, you know? So, I stood in the storm with my bottle in my hand and was lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, I guess. And I don't feel like, you know, like, yeah, bottle in one hand, dick in the other. Asserting dominance over the storm, really. Nate kind of groomed me for this a little bit. Nate, in the early goings, would do postmortems with me when he came in and spent copious amounts of money in the channel. Because he didn't want me to fail. Like, he was one of the people who convinced me to stream again after Amber got better. And Nate didn't want to be the one who convinced me to stream again and then have me fail and be like, oh, I wish I'd spent more time doing something else. So he was really pumping his best efforts into trying to help me figure out best practices for streaming. And with that came him basically saying, like, I'm a high roller, I'm a whale, and I expect certain things out of the channels I give money to. And he gave me examples of people doing it poorly, and he gave me examples of places where he felt rewarded. And now for some reason, this place is like a commune for people with disposable income and a high interest in memes. I also say this is someone who gets 1 to 2 Twitch payouts a year and doesn't stream. This community is silly, and I love them. I remember one time, and this will be a nice segue back into how did you end up with Nate. But I do remember one time. Ah, fuck me. I remember one time Nate came in. Yes. Yeah, there we go. I mean, like, you know, I think it's better than the two of those idiots. Nate came in and dropped some money. Or no, Nate didn't come in and drop some money. Nate came in and said hello. And Stevie, who is now a mod, Stevie climbed up Nate's ass and said something to the effect of like, hey, Nate, Taffy says he'll do blank nutty thing if somebody gives him a bunch of money. Fund this thing for us, Nate. And Nate was like, why don't you spend your fucking money on it? You want it so bad.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
And he genuinely was like, he felt off-put and was like, hey, it's me, so we can talk about this and it's not weird, but like, that could drive other people off. Wrangle that, like, rein that shit in. And so I got to have like lessons on how to respect people of means, how to respect people with disposable income, so that you never made them feel like human ATMs. So when people spend big money here, like, I have monster alerts that go off, and I'm spending more money on more monster alerts, and I make sure that they get good return on investment for it. Is this a vinyl record? No, this is Pretzel. We love and cherish our cult leader. Time of V, thank you so much, man. I hope you're well. Lucky Andy Gaming, Prime Gaming 5 months. Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Hey, Tappy, man.
Devin, what are you doing?
Like bits, but a lot of them.
Devin says, can I put this 1,400 bits and the gifted subs towards Persona 5 Strikers, please? Thrilled to do it. Happy to do it. If one of my mods would be so accommodating, I would appreciate the shit out of you. Time to put a bed frame together. Good luck. Good luck. Have fun. So, the transitions. I need keys. I wonder. I'm gonna go see what's in the... So I duplicated this. Alright, that's good to know. I'm just gonna dupe keys from here on out. I was not doing content creation when I was an actor. That was my creative outlet. What stopped me from being in theater and trying to be in film was that when I moved back to Richmond from Philadelphia, I partially did it to be in the same city as a guy I referred to as my theater dad. a dude named Rusty Wilson. He was my theater dad. He was the guy who mentored me. He was the guy in theater. He asked me the tough questions the way Nate asked me the tough questions in Twitch. Oh, this is fucking terrifying. I would get up and do a monologue or something and get done and feel like I had acted my heart out. And I remember one time in particular, this dude Rusty goes, "All right, Ryan, thank you for sharing that with us. I appreciate you getting up and performing that for us. Quick question. To whom were you performing that monologue?" And I remember my exact answer was, in my head I was doing it as though I was, speaking to, at the time, my girlfriend's son. And he was like, "Okay, cool. And why does that make that important? Give me the circumstances behind it." And I tried, but I just was like struggling to come up with like a real good reason why, other than I just picked somebody and thought that it imbued it with like a sense of importance. And so I tried like 3 or 4 times to explain this to Rusty, and he goes, "Yeah, no, I get
shit."
He goes, "I get it. I get what you're saying, but my real question is, who gives a shit?" He literally goes, I get what you're saying, but my question remains, who gives a shit? Why am I supposed to give a fuck? Why am I supposed to care? You're asking me as an audience member who paid $20 a ticket to care that you're having this conversation with this person. What's my investment in this?" And I had no answer, and I just felt I feel terrible 20 years later. But that's the dude who like climbed up into my head and asked the tough questions. Oh no, I think I just die. Just kidding. Maybe not kidding. I appreciated that candor, and he used to tell me that the reason he was so tough on me was because he thought that I could handle that kind of criticism, and he wanted me to produce a better result. So he was willing to make me uncomfortable, and he was willing to make me mad, and he was willing to make me frustrated because he wanted me to reach my full potential. And so I partially moved back here. Neat. Oh, goddamn. I partially moved back here to be around him. I wanted to do more work with him. And so it came to pass that I got to do more work, or I got cast in a show with him. No, I don't have Holy Mantle Untainted Lost. I had Holy Mantle in the form of a card. It only gave me 1 instance, and I've already lost it, so I genuinely can't get hit. You look beautiful. I don't know. That's a new shirt. It is a new shirt. I've not seen you in this shirt. I don't know. And you've got a very 1950s, 60s. Yeah, you got a real 60s thing going on.
It's just what my hair wanted to do today.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you need food?
Probably.
I can make you the same kind of sandwich you had yesterday, or I was about to go make tuna.
Tuna sounds good.
Okay.
So.
We still have salmon leftovers if you wanted.
It sounds like more work than I want to put in.
I can do a salmon sandwich.
You could do a salmon sandwich. Yeah.
Tartar salmon lettuce.
Tartar on one side.
Uh-huh.
Whole grain mustard on another.
Uh-huh.
Light, like thinly sliced tomato.
Uh-huh.
Like get the serrated knife
Yep.
and really get that sucker paper thin.
Yeah.
Rip or shred the lettuce.
Uh-huh.
And you can leave the salmon cold.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then, I don't know, chips, tater tots, peanut butter M&Ms, I don't know. Something on the side, I guess.
Alright, coming up.
You could have paused, rip time. Where do I need to be in 50 minutes in this game? Everything that I need to do in this game has long since passed. Who gives a shit? At this point, just make your own damn sandwich. Only if she comes in here and plays Isaac. That's not how it works. if I'm a mechanic and she's like, hey, would you like lunch? And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind this. And she goes, how specifically would you like me to make it? And I'm like, you know what? You rebuild this engine block. I'll go make the sandwich. Anyway. This will take 5 cents. How are you on Catacombs at 50 minutes? I just stop and talk to chat. It's more important to me to have a good time talking to chat than it is to really dial in on Isaac. I'm not in... Oh, I liked Cricket's body, you butthole. I'm not genuinely concerned about winning with the Lost here. Plus, part of the reason that I'm able to make hundreds of dollars a day streaming Isaac to basically the same group of people over and over and over again is that I give chat more of the impotence. What's the word I'm looking for? Impetus, not impotence. Impetus. Chat gets more of my focal energy than Isaac does. That also results in having runs that are like 2 hours long. But when people are giving you hundreds of dollars, I have a tendency to think that they're more important than this probably doomed tainted Lost run. I could pause and we'd be at 30 minutes on caves, whatever. But like, what difference does it make? If we're not going for Hush and we're not going for Boss Rush, like, genuinely, what difference does it make? Whether the run ends with a 2-hour countdown timer, or a 2-hour timer, or a 40-minute timer. So, are you implying that her job is to make you sandwiches? Dangerous territory, sir. It seems to have worked out well for Ninja. Maybe I could get on The Masked Singer. Oh, no worries. I'm not trying to be an asshole about it. It's just like, I have to defend myself a lot playing this game. I don't know why. I don't understand exactly why that is, but for some reason I have to defend myself a lot playing this game. And I don't ever want to come off as defensive. Ah! 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 Sorry. I had to keep reminding myself that I can't get hit. Holy shit. Yeah, a lot of people like genuinely come at me when I'm playing this game, and like I don't ever search out controversy or conflict, but I also, you know, don't just roll over. I take a certain amount of I do like Tears upgrades. Lisa! Real talk, my vasectomy recovery was really easy, barely any pain at all. I sort of figure, whoa. I figure getting back on stream won't take a whole lot of effort. But I do still think it'll probably be a week or two before I feel comfortable taking that same, like, fresh incision, fresh stitches. Oh no. Ooh, and going to the gym and trying to do, like, bench press and squats and stuff like that. Nate! How fortuitous. El Pablo has been patiently waiting for an hour for an answer about how we got started together. Exactly. I don't want to be like on a bench press at Gold's Gym and pop a stitch. Circumcision is different from a vasectomy, but my snip can be couch ridden for a couple of weeks. I've been told. Whoops. I've been told the day after is gonna be something. But I've also been told that within a week I should be back on my feet again. You know what though, Taffy? Feel free to milk it for a couple of days off. God knows you'll want them anyway. I gotta hit my hours though. You know, that's the real pisser of it. I've got obligations I have to meet. Any urologist worth his salt won't need more than a single stitch on each side. It's just a small hole, not even really an incision. Yeah, I've heard it. I mean, I've heard it's minimally invasive. I was thrilled that they're gonna put me under for it though. Ow, my freaking balls. Reruns? I don't know if those count, if I'm being honest. Nah, Maddie, I haven't played a Tom Clancy game in a hot minute. And Taffy found me in a blizzard in Boston. So, people were asking about theater, and I was saying with theater,
Nears down.
I was saying with theater, I stopped because, like, my theater dad lives here in Richmond. Fuck, man, they pinned me right in. What was I supposed to do there? I thought I carved out a path. I killed the only one that didn't come straight for me. Oh well. I'll try another one, and if it doesn't work, then we'll just switch on over to Shovel Knight. So I moved back to Richmond partially because I wanted to work with my theater dad. And when I got back, he cast me in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? This is Kronk. This is Tainted Lost. Tainted Lost. So I got cast in the play Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which is a very juicy ensemble piece. A very juicy ensemble piece with nothing but good roles. And I was going to be cast with him directing and with other actors that I knew from the region that I wanted to work with, who I admired. And genuinely, like, I know it shouldn't matter, but there was a part of me that smelled local awards written all over it. I was like, damn, if I do a good enough job, like, I could win a local acting award. Like, that's the kind of setup that I sense brewing with this production. So we got cast, and we were just short of the first table read. And I came in and said, hey man, I know we got this table read coming up and all that jazz, but I've got exciting news. Amber's pregnant. And he was like, oh my God, that's great. Good for you guys, man. That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you. When's the due date? And I said, sometime in October. And he goes, oh. And I said, oh, what? And he goes, that's right during opening week of the play. And I said, well, yeah, but. And he goes, no, buddy, I love you. No, yeah, but. It's right opening week of the play, and we haven't started rehearsals yet. You realize I have to recast you, right? I accepted it. I didn't make a scene. He was right. I went home and got drunk on scotch the same day. I went home and got drunk on scotch at like 11 in the morning. I was so bummed out. I was so bummed out that was like the point that I was just like, I'm done. I was just like, I'm done with acting. I'm tired of being poor. I'm tired of like feeling like I keep missing my shots. I'm tired. I'm just tired of being poor. But I'm tired of feeling like nothing's breaking my way. Insult to injury, he recast me with a pretty good friend of mine. And I love that pretty good friend to death. He has always been there for me. You know, especially during like weird, complicated, dark times. But then he was also the only person from that cast who wasn't nominated for an individual acting award for that production. And I was just like, I would have been nominated. I'd have been nominated for a Best Supporting Actor award. Not Lucas, but somebody from that same circle of friends. Honestly, I was so disappointed about getting recast in that show that I got dressed up, collared shirt, tie, slacks, and I went there with the intention of seeing it one night, and I got to the parking lot, sat in the parking lot for about 10 minutes, and then turned around and came home. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So that was the day that for that point in time I swore off trying to be an actor. And decided I was going to try to figure out something to do with my life that didn't have to do with, like, begging people for work and constant rejection. The mental turmoil of just constant, non-stop rejection. Interesting. So, I was waiting tables forever. And while I was waiting tables and just trying to make money, you know, in the lucrative career of waiting tables, it's the only thing I knew how to do. So I was waiting tables because it's the only way I knew how to make money fast. So I just started waiting as many tables as I could and stockpiling as much cash as I could because I had a baby on the way and no real career prospects. And in the downtime of that, I started a YouTube channel with a Canadian friend named Rob. And we swore that if we were going to do it, we were going to try our asses off to do it as well as it could possibly be done. That we were going to treat our YouTube efforts like a part-time job. And that gained steam, but it didn't make us rich. There was not as much money in content creation as there is now. So I went to graduate school for advertising, and it wasn't for me. I dropped out, started a music label, or was in the process of starting a music label, and recognized almost instantly that there was no point in trying to start a record label without a tech person involved. Strangely, I was one of the only people who seemed to recognize from our group that it was foolhardy to try to start a record label without having somebody who was our at least competent, if not genius tech guru. So one day at PAX South, the guy who was the acting CEO, I mean, Nate will tell you, when Nate found us, I only get one of these, huh? Fuck. I think it's money equals power. But Eye of Belial's so good for piercing. It's so much easier to clear out a room with piercing. I can find other damage. I can find other damage! I have no idea if this run's gonna win or lose, but it's just, I'm happy when decisions turn out to be correct. When Nate found us, and I say found us, it was very twist of fate. When Nate found us, essentially, people were building our 99 Lives website using pre-formatted purchasable templates. It was a GeoCities website. Basically, they were setting up like a GeoCities website to be the front end of a new music label that was going to try to compete with Monster Cat. And I remember looking at it going like, this ain't it. Like, this ain't it, homeboys. Like, we can't do this. We need a tech person so bad. And so at PAX South, our acting CEO at the time was a dude named Sam. And Sam and Nate... Oh, fuck me. Sam and Nate shared an Uber together at PAX South. And Sam told Nate what we were up to. And Nate said he might be interested in getting down with that. And so he then followed, like, not followed, but like he came up to PAX East and I went up to PAX East so that he and I could meet each other. And I got drunk listening to Approaching Nirvana spin at a private event in an Italian restaurant private basement dining area. And grabbed Nate while I was on like my sixth old fashioned and was like, I don't know if these other guys realize it, but we can't do this shit without you. I'm gonna be your biggest champion when I get back there, man, because we need you. I don't know if anybody else realizes how bad we need you, but I realize how bad we need you. You have to come do this with us or it will fail. And so Nate signed on and there were some big ups and downs in there. And there were definitely some things that I wish I'd done differently. But generally speaking, I feel like it worked out. This is in the basement of Buca di Beppo. If you say so. I just knew that's where the free old fashions were. Aw, thanks, Maddie. If there's one thing that I do really well when I stream, it's non-stop stream of consciousness conversation. Neat.
Range down.
You get the fuck away from me. Yeah, sure. I'm not super happy about it. Taffy's found a way to get paid to go to therapy. I don't know. I tried really hard not to trauma dump on you guys. People who trauma dump on stream really turn me off. Like yesterday, I felt like I was really going out on a limb because I came into chat and was just like, hey, I feel off this week. And I kind of worked through why. But even then I was like, I gotta be, if I'm gonna describe to people why I feel off, it needs to be entertaining. You can't just show up and be like, I feel sad. Let me bring you all with me. Come down into the depths with me and share in my sadness. Isn't this how you wanted to spend your morning at work? Going through these spreadsheets and auditing data and listening to a 41-year-old balding video gamer talk about how he's sad. So I try very hard not to trauma dump. If I'm gonna talk you guys through it, then at the very least I want it to be entertaining. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's still upbeat. Oh my god. Even if I'm really not feeling it. Get your fat ass back above board. There we go. Yeah, I'll take speed. Speed. Yeah, even if I'm gonna come to you guys and be like, I feel off, but I want to come to you guys like with it. The delivery of that news is still upbeat and sincere and genuinely approached from like, either I'm just gonna say this so that it exists out in the world and you guys can do with it what you will, or I'm gonna say this because I genuinely want to critically break it down and search for legitimate insights from perspectives that aren't my own. But it's never just, I try never to let it be just woe is me. Nobody wants to watch that shit. That's not true. Nobody I want in my channel would want to watch that shit. Made by Nod, is that going to be your book about how you cultivated Taffy into a professional streamer? He put me through boot camp. We were talking about that before Nate got here. Please don't kill me. You too, Nate, but like mostly the game, dude, that speed upgrade is invaluable. Yeah, Nate took me to very early streamer school And basically we had a lot of very early conversations about, do you want to make money doing this? Cool, here's how you should talk to people about that. And here's how you should not solicit that. Source was the only guy with money in this channel for a while. Nate. Honestly, that sounds a lot like my job anyway. Yeah, gotta be on, gotta put that witty happy mask on and tap dance for the folks. I try to be sincere and I try not to bullshit you guys and blow sunshine up your ass. If I'm not feeling good, I'll say, hey chat, I feel awful today. But I'll do it in that tone of voice with upward inflection. It's okay to tell you guys and be honest, be like, I feel terrible today. But it's not okay to come in and be like, Eeyore, hey chat, I feel really mopey and sad. Pay me to be sad in your vicinity. What do you mean you're not excited to be the people who pay me to be sad in your vicinity? I'd like you to give me $100 to be mopey. Why doesn't that sound like a good idea to you? It's not me. I'm in a fine mood. Apocalyptic, I've already gotten hundreds of your dollars. Not yours specifically, but I've already gotten hundreds of chat's dollars today. I'm set. But I'm saying, like, it's such a weird, conflicting... I approach everything, everything that I do, I try to approach from what you guys see when you look at the monitor. What I want and how I feel on the checklist of things I'd like to have happen is like 4th and 5th. I can honestly say I've never thought, gee, Taffy's a fucking black cloud today. I genuinely think, Salty, the worst... Hell, Pablo, I'm getting to it, I promise. The worst I think that I've ever really been is during the points in time where I realize and recognize that I have to play Isaac, and it's just... Tainted Jacob was rough. That was rough. I showed up, I put in my time, I got the goddamn job done, and I will at some point again. But not with the same sense of urgency of, I'm trying to be one of the first people to get to Dead God. Tainted Jacob was rough. And honestly, when I was finding my footing as a more positive and upbeat streamer, certainly than what I was, some of those days were rough. Because I used to be a guy who slammed keyboards and threw controllers and shit like that because I thought that was entertaining. And I don't know, some people get down with that, but I don't want to be that person. Genuinely, I learned from Lars Fest that I was like, man, I want to have a positive channel with a positive chat. And I have to say that not only is that easier on my mental health, but it yields much more money. Honestly, if you're looking at it from a dollar and cents perspective, having a happy, positive, accepting, and welcoming chat is way more profitable than having a toxic graveyard full of douchebaggy assholes. I enjoy your life experiences discussions because it's weirdly inspirational that you managed to get through dumb shit and now you're here. I feel like I tap danced through a minefield. I should be dead 100 times over. That I am on the other side is nothing short of a miracle. So yeah, the Nate and Taffy history starts with Sam introducing me to Nate as our potential technology guy for Pretzel, or for 99 Lives. And then Nate came on board, and there were a lot of times that admittedly I should have had Nate's back and stuff. I made things needlessly more complicated than they had to be by trying to please everybody. But generally speaking, Nate and I often found ourselves on the same side of arguments among, like, starting a company's rough. Starting a company with like 6 people, all with sort of equal, starting a company with like 6 people, all with basically an equal say in what happens, is difficult. Because at that point you've got 6 chefs and no sous chefs and no line cooks. And so every meeting is essentially, oh, I did the wrong thing. That's all right. It's not the end of the world. I meant to do this thing. That was the last run that was like that, though. when you've got a whole bunch of cooks and no line cooks and no sous chefs, it gets very stalematey. So we found ourselves navigating a lot of stuff together, and then there was a schism that resulted from... You remember how I said I was really bad about standing my ground and stating my opinion and backing up Nate when I felt like we were in the same place? Well, one night I did it on accident because I had a hot mic and I didn't realize it. And Amber said, "Hey babe, how you doing?" And I said, "I'm having a real rough go." And she said, "Why is that?" To its credit, it did in fact bring the conflict to a head. But it did also put out into the open what were perceived as being the legitimate issues at hand without all the pussyfooting around. And from there, once the yelling stopped, actual decisions got to be made about how we moved forward. And when the lines got drawn about who went where and did what, Nate and I threw our lot in with each other. We like, he and I had genuinely, inadvertently spoke the exact same language when it came to, I've already used it once earlier, the fog of war. We kept talking about how we sincerely detested how much fly by the seat of the pants stuff we were doing, and how we genuinely disliked not knowing. Like, we were running a company and just so much was left to chance. And we hated that. And we wanted to work in an atmosphere where there was much more planning involved. So, at that point in time, there were essentially two companies under the umbrella. One was the music label 99 Lives, and the other was a new company we were pulling together called Pretzel. And it felt like Pretzel was mine and Nate's passion, and the other guys were more interested in the label. So we split 2 and 2, and Nate and I went off to work on Pretzel together and do things our way. And the other guys stayed behind and ran the music label. And they were musicians. They were better suited for that. So they did that. And then eventually, Amber got better from cancer, and Nate pushed me back into streaming. Nate and Amber and a viewer named... Shit, I just saw her name in the sub list just the other day. The Shazam, Nate and my wife shoved me back into streaming because they knew that I missed it. They knew I was good at it. And they knew that that would help keep me sane. And then eventually, Nate and I, with Sunday's help, Nate and I purchased the music label and folded it back in with Pretzel and bought those other gentlemen out. And then eventually streaming went well enough for me that I had to be honest with Nate about my ability to commit to the projects he was working on, which was Pretzel and 99 Lives. I was being pretty absent. And I also didn't know how to help. The companies had changed so much that I didn't know how to help anymore. So I rolled off of the day-to-day on 99 Lives and Pretzel. Oh, fuck. Why does it feel like every fight there's a fallen fight? I do love me some Rotten, baby. Can I have Krampus? Yo, let's go! Give me that sweet, sweet combat, you big dumb idiot. Man. It's conjoined for what it's worth, you know? It's not nothing, I guess. Now we go open all of our red chests. So yeah, it is circa 2017, 2018, I rolled off the day-to-day. Nate was incredibly kind. I had had business partners in the past that 100% would have used that as an excuse to screw me out of any claim to what those companies would become. Nate chose not to do that, and not only that, gave up some of his compensation to make sure that Amber and I were taken care of when Pretzel sold. And the rest is history. Now Nate works at Song Trader, which owns Pretzel. We sold that for millions of dollars. Nate sold that for millions of dollars. I just was around. I did the announcement tweet. I was just like, hey everybody, we sold Pretzel, and people were just like, hell yeah, and I was like, well, Nate sold Pretzel, but I'm tweeting about it. Woo! Yeah, and now Nate's working at Song Trader, and he and I keep jumping into calls once in a blue moon to talk about how one day we're gonna have to find some new thing to work on because we miss working together. Nate and I worked very well together. We did not have problems butting heads and being honest with each other without hurting each other's feelings. Man, I want the eraser, but I just don't think it helps us long term. He and I were good about having honest conversations about things we were doing right and things we were doing wrong. Yeah, Reenie's now over. I mean, like, everybody who was working on that iteration of Pretzel is now over at Song Trader. I opted out. I took my money and ran. I get the participation trophy. Yeah, being blunt, man, it cuts through the bullshit. It gets you to where you want to go. It takes less time, and it's almost never personal. Participation trophy. It's probably back when me and Brizzy were having that weird trophy off. It also might have been when Pretzel sold, because it was like, Taffy got some money. Oh wow, he was working on Pretzel? Kinda. Not really. Sorta. So yeah, that's it, you know. I've had no problem on rare occasions telling Nate that he needs to be a little more sensitive. Like, hey man, you can't just say it like that. I mean, you can, but it makes you sound like an asshole. And then Nate's also had, it's very loud.
The world.
Nate's also had no problem coming to me and being like, hey bud, you need to do this better. Or like, hey, what you're doing, I think you think it's making you productive, but it's not. And I'm like, go on. And genuinely, I think we've just been in the trenches for long enough with each other that we have, our ground rules for critical discussion have been clearly laid out. And we can make solid progress very quickly by compartmentalizing. This is work time, and unless I say something personal, your feelings don't enter into it. And it goes both ways, where it's like, we should do this, and it's like, I think that's a terrible idea. Okay, tell me why. Like, you have to justify opinions, and you have to back yourself up with like facts or observations or whatever, but that said, yeah, it is the system that he and I cultivated over years of working together. I should have been hit there. The system that he and I cultivated over years of working together is streamlined. It does not fuck about, you know, and that is delightful. It's refreshing and time consuming. Or sorry, refreshing and saves time and energy. It is very efficient. And it helps that I think that we feel like each other's insights are generally valuable. There have been misfires from each camp. Fuck. There have been misfires from each camp, but generally speaking,
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Generally speaking, we land on the same page with each other on stuff. Speed? Maybe. I really just don't want to do that one room. It's so loud. Why would you let it be so loud? Ryan from Canada, tier 1 for a happy... Any more? Ryan from Canada, thank you for the tier 1 for a happy year. Nate and I used to have weekly meetings so I could have feelings, because I have a lot of feelings. It's sometimes better if they're scheduled. I don't want to make it, like, I don't want it to don't take me to the boss fight. I don't want to make it sound shitty, but the conversations that the exchanges that I had with Nate over time pushed me to a place where like I'm a very feely person too. But conversations I've had with Nate have definitely helped me compartmentalize and in some cases even remove those so that I can be productive. I very much for a long time was like, but Nate, my feelings. And he's like, all right, you have them. Now take them and put them somewhere that they're out of our fucking way so we can get our job done. And through just rote practice and repetition, through the repetition of sort of practicing that, I've been able to apply that. Kind of neat. I've been able to apply that to other things, which include this channel. And so, you know, if I go to Nate and I'm like, hey, I've been trying to play this one game. I've been trying to play Fortnite. And Nate goes, and I'm like, I don't know that it's working. And he goes, well, let's just go look at the stats. And I'm like, I don't want to look at the stats. He's like, why don't you want to look at the stats? And I'm like, I'm afraid they're going to tell me what you're going to tell me, which is that Fortnite's not working for the channel. And he's like, maybe, let's find out. And he throws the stats up on the screen. I go, fuck. Yeah, I don't get to be a BR streamer. Back to Isaac with me. But that's the kind of shit that I wouldn't have been... That's the kind of shit that I don't think I would have... Yeah, let's check the tape. That's the kind of shit that I don't think I would have been able or willing to receive 5-6 years ago. I'd have gotten real sensitive about it, blown up and walked off. And been like, the audacity of that Nate to tell me things I don't want to hear just because they're true. Oh, I almost punched a Diet Dr. Pepper can that I thought was empty. Chat.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
I almost did that for dramatic effect. This thing is 95% full. I almost slapped this fucking Dr. Pepper can clear across my office. That would have been not great, but that's I used to be a very fussy, prissy, upset, sad britches. MP Manapoint, greetings. So many Ryans, greeting Ryans. Bring all the Ryans in. Speaking of, there's another Ryan, Fantakilla, welcome as well. Jackspot with the gifted sub, ooh woo. No, this is a real Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. We asked for the Kroger brand, and then this was the substitution they gave us, so I'm living the high life, but it didn't cost me any money. Fantakiller, thank you so much. Wasn't there a point where you're big on PUBG? Nah, there was a point where I was playing a lot of PUBG. I don't know that I'd go so far as to say I was big on it. I wouldn't say I've ever been big on any game, with the exception of I was top of category for... I'm normally near the top of category for Isaac, and I was top of category for Hades when I was playing it. But that, and Bumbo, I guess. Edmund Games and Hades, but otherwise I wouldn't say I'm really well known for just about anything else. Do it or no balls. Yeah, Nate is very good at holding people to hard truths. Definitely something I appreciate. It would be different if you felt like... If I ever felt like Nate was getting off on being an asshole. If I ever thought that Nate's nipples got hard when he treated people... Like, when he treated people roughly with hard truths, then it would be a very different thing. But I have never sensed even an ounce of masochism out of him when it comes to holding people accountable for X, Y, and Z. Oh, Ryan, I haven't thought of or played Bumbo since Bumbo first came out. And it's not even like me being shitty about it, it's just, it's a fun game. I can't help but think that this is maybe the right call to leave with this, because I could generate more holy cards out of it. Don't take me to the I Am Error room. Neat. I just didn't want to go through the... I didn't want to go through the bumper room again. You were top of category for Destiny 1 that one time. Technically accurate. The best kind of accurate. Factually accurate. Ugh. Fine. Linger Bean. That's true. Yeah, Nate is pretty intensely critical of himself too. The microscope aims inward. He holds people to the same standards to which he holds himself, and I can respect that. That's why I can respect you rat fuck game. That's why I can respect harsh criticism coming from him to me, because I watch him do it to himself as well. Yeah, sure. Whew. Got a headache from trying to have... Okay. From trying to have intense conversations about life. And also trying to play Tainted Lost. What is going on? Why are you giving me these range upgrades? My dude. I mean, I might as well take it. I'm not getting anything else. The pact is pretty good. This is not a run that currently beats Dogma, but I'll give it my best effort. You are known for your over-the-top donation alerts by Jack. Yeah, no, that was a different conversation that we were having earlier about. The way I've chosen to describe it recently is to say, a lot of people want to catch lightning in a bottle, but don't want... Oh, you rat bastards, they pinned me in a corner. Why, you almost shot me sideways. I'd have uninstalled this game. Shit. Yeah, people, you know, some people want to catch lightning in a bottle, but they won't buy a bottle and they won't stand in the rain. There was a chunk of conversation earlier where Rini was saying, what in the hell is your life? Why you and not somebody standing right next to you? Ooh, fuck this room. And the only thing I can think of is that I've been dressing for the job I want, not the job I have, since I was at 30 viewers. I was prepared when opportunity presented itself. Again, not to dislocate my shoulder jerking myself off, but it's true. I've worked my ass off over the years to have the pieces in place so that when something happens, like Jacksepticeye comes in and gives you $1,000 and says he's gonna put you in one of his million-view videos, that your channel looks as dope as humanly possible before you need it to, not after. I try to get work done before I need it. Amazing emotes? I got an artist for that. Amazing animated emotes? Same guy. Amazing alerts? I got a guy for that. Next round of amazing alerts? Coming. You know, it's about time I tried it again to get somebody besides Kevin Brighting to do some of my alerts, just to zhuzh it up a little bit. Exporting all of our stuff to YouTube, starting again on YouTube. Thank you very much, Google, for fucking me forever on that. It sucks, and it's costing me a lot of money, but I'm getting our YouTube presence set up again. Paying Austin to get social media clips pulled together. I could be a little better about how frequently I upload them. But, you know, if somebody finds my TikTok or somebody finds my Twitter, somebody finds my Instagram, there's a bunch of stuff there for them to comb over. There's content already existing there before I need it to. Depths 2, what are you again? I'm like lightheaded from how much we've been talking today. 20 coins, you say? Maybe. Let's go see what the shop has in store. Sometimes I think about how much money I've put into this channel. I'm glad we can all enjoy this. I'll do some alerts for you. No. No, you will not. I only accept assets from people I can fire. I almost never take free work from anybody because it makes me really nervous. I have come to appreciate, and it's gonna sound weird, but I have come to appreciate having the ability to fire a contractor if I feel like things are not going exactly how I want. My days of soliciting inexpensive or free work is not happening anymore. Time to email Neil Newborn to Heisenberg up the alerts a little. I never said it was free. I'm not listen, Torin, we got a 0 return policy on donos and bits and tips. All right, so I don't listen. I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but stop trying to fish for these several $1,000s back. All right, that shit belongs to me now, and there's a 0 return policy. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh, crap. Gross. Maybe I'll be able to re-roll. Can I get like a teleport or something? Or maybe I can get into the shop and the shop's gonna have another holy card, because if I get hit again, it's game over, man. Game over. Tell him, V-Packs. My nipples went in. Balls of steel. You'll never see me coming. Chip. I accept payments in candy and Bitcoin. Y'all, a bunch of y'all are of means. This manic scramble to try to get me to mail, like, this is like so many people have been trying to get me to spend $15 to mail them $10 worth of candy bars. I'm so, like, multiple people have approached this. I'm just kind of like, just take your $10 or $15 and buy some candy bars. I'm just gonna give these candy bars to, like, first responders and teachers in the area. Like, I'll find people here who will gleefully take this candy off of me. Stop! Phone! What if I'm just of mean, singular? Then I will send you 1 candy bar. Oh, I'm out of bombs. Fuck! I kept accidentally shooting bombs out of the way. Well, shit. Now I can't check the curse room. Just lick them all. Well, if I wanted to make money off of this, then I would lick them all. And I would OnlyFans them. You'll never guess where this candy bar went. That's what I'd say. I could be paid in exposure. Taffy, if I did your bookkeeping, can I get my thousands of dollars back? I do my own bookkeeping. Thank you very much. I wish I could show it to you. I genuinely wish I could show you my bookkeeping. It is... Oh, God! It is sexy. My bookkeeping looks good. Hey, now I get to go to the curse room. I genuinely don't think this run survives either, but by God, I am trying. I've gotten us to the depths twice now and only taken like 3 combined hits. Man. Is there anything? I'm such an average player. What an average fucking yutz this guy is. This O. Henry bar spent 2 weeks in taint prison. That's right. I saw orange as the new black. I understand how to up the value of these things. Shit. I don't really see anywhere where Hoglaws helps us out. That said, oh, you know what? Hoglaws is going to help us out by getting us a Fool card. If we're actually toying with the idea of going to Dogma. That is unsexy, but that is the right way to do it. As a public accountant, every client I've had that does their own bookkeeping is awful at their own bookkeeping. I was, again, educated at the school of Nate. Taffy, I've learned a whole bunch more about bookkeeping now that we have a proper finance team. I was at, like, Galen Hertz de Corbina, my financial planner, and Ernest, who is now my accountant, basically have said if only every streamer had exactly what you have. Shit, I fucked it. Oh well. I was thinking I was gonna get back into that deal with the devil and re-roll it, which is why I took many eyes, but we do a great job for the businesses we run, which is on a cash basis. Yeah, I don't have like accounts receivable, accounts payable. This is a terrible idea. What if I find another card first? I'm sorry. Joke's on you, I'm not sorry. I got to keep the one that, well, I sorry. I thought Little Brim was the Ice Baby. I thought I kept Ice Baby and Rotten Baby, and I was very happy. Now I've kept Little Brim and Rotten Baby, and I'm half happy. I don't have a reroll. Oh, because I set it down. You bitch-made motherfucker. Technically, your bits for game spreadsheet should all be deferred revenue. I don't know about that. Technically, I've got the revenue. I don't have to give you what you purchased. We have a gentleman's agreement, but we don't have anything in writing. Once I've got your money, spoilers, I've got your money. No, we pay bookkeepers and CPAs tens of thousands of dollars, and they all sucked balls. Please don't kill me. What a terrifying room. They were fucking awful, man. Honestly, I didn't get my personal books in order until Nate gave up on the expensive bookkeepers and CPAs and just taught himself the bookkeeping software. And then he taught me the bookkeeping software, and now my books are immaculate. Ah! This is stressful. I don't like it. Small rock? Neat. There are good ones out there. I work with them now. We did not work with them for a long time. Shit, one of them, the most expensive for the least results, which is to say, actually no results, we signed up with because it was recommended by the Zero software. Zero bookkeeping software said, these are the people in Virginia who know our software, and it was one company. And we signed up with them and got nothing. For thousands of dollars, we got nothing. Every time, yeah, Bookkeeping Express. Every time. Every time we felt like we were close to having communicated to them what we wanted, they would tell us that they had fired the person that we were working with. Shit. They would tell us they had fired the person we were working with, and we'd have to start from scratch. And they did that 6 times over like a year and a half. And because we changed people so many times, we never received any product for like a year and a half worth of shit product. Or like $600-700 a month, some crazy ass number. Like $600-700 a month. Ooh. And we did that for a year and a half, and I don't even think we got like basic bookkeeping, let alone the moderately advanced bookkeeping we were asking for. Yeah, all of a sudden we got to the renewal date and told them we weren't renewing, and suddenly we had them on 3 phone calls a week. Yeah, they never even touched the books. Never even touched it. Just kept saying and promising to us that they would. Kept promising us they would help us, and then the only time we got a voracious response from them was when it was time to renew, and we said no. Man, we had them on phone calls 2-3 times a week at that point. Are you sure? Is there anything we can do to change your mind? What made you feel like this wasn't the situation for you? How could we change? Did you sick Noah on them? No! I'd somehow end up owing them more money. Did you sick Noah on them? No! At least if I fired them, they went away and I didn't somehow owe them more. Justin, what's going on, homie? I don't think I go back and fight that boss trap room. I don't know where a holy card happens, but I'm gonna march this fucker right to the finish line.
Spent it. It's gone. Just get over it.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's gone? How can you have spent our savings?
Justin, what do you mean you went and bought clothes? We were gonna stand in solidarity together. I don't have any fancy clothes. What kind of clothes did you buy? They weren't fancy, I just needed jeans and a belt. Okay, thank God. I thought you betrayed me. I was really genuinely concerned for a minute. Because I certainly don't have a suit or slacks or a jacket. Or I don't even know, maybe not even a collared shirt. I put on 40 pounds during this pandemic. Nothing I own fits me anymore. But I don't want to go buy new clothes. Holy shit! Now I kind of wish I brought blank card with me. I suggested to Goody put us at the kids' table and he loved the idea. Yeah, absolutely. I'm down with that. Patronize me. I don't give a shit. Just don't make me dress up. I might bring one collared shirt.
Destructive and disturbed, just like his father. Look at who he has to look up to. You're drunk.
Shut up, man. Shut up! You just keep pushing me like this. I'm leaving.
Good. Leave. We'll be fine without you. Abandon us like you've abandoned yourself.
Well, I'm glad I didn't fight for that Tears upgrade because ultimately we got there without having to put ourselves at risk. Yo! I don't want to jinx it, but this might be the blessed run. I have to leave one behind. I mean, maybe I don't. Hold on. It behooves me, I think, if I'm going to leave cards behind, to look and see if I can find like a chest or something to reroll. If I get hit, whatever. Who cares if I get hit? I'm literally gonna leave holy cards on the floor. On a fun note, on jeans, I'm down 10 sizes, 5 you count every other or whatever. I've been eating full-size candy bars for breakfast. So we're basically on the same health journey right now. We're essentially leading the same life. I've been eating king-size Nutrageouses for breakfast. They're gone now. But only because I was committed to the process. Yeah, that's right. Justin and I are on the same... oh no, motherfucker. Well, that's why we have the extra one. Yeah, we're on the same path, if only just to high-five each other going opposite directions.
You need to confess your sins and become saved. Let his light inside you cleanse your soul.
You are insane. You are taking this too far. Can't you hear how you sound?
Pray with me. Pray for your salvation. Come, pray with us, Isaac.
Living the American dream. Dude, honestly, the Deranged Optician, that was the only one that I really wanted there to be extras of. Like, I'm giddy that there are extra whatchamacallits. I love whatchamacallits. But I hadn't had a Nutrageous in so long. I hadn't had a Nutrageous in so long, and I love them so much. Yeah, they're so good. It's like a weird horror movie where Justin lost weight. Justin's lost weight has to go to someone else. It's a Stephen King inspired short story where every pound Justin loses, I pick up. Yeah, Nutrageouses are pretty dynamite. I've slowed down now that the Nutrageouses are gone. What's funny is that, like, almost as though I am paying penance, I have switched from the Nutrageouses to Paydays. Because Paydays aren't particularly good. They're still pretty, they're pretty edible candy bars. But they're like the least unhealthy, even if it's by 10 or 20 calories. So now when I'm like, man, I want a snack, I go over there, there's peanut M&Ms, there's peanut butter cups, there's a shitload of Snickers. But I end up grabbing, I end up grabbing the Paydays because I feel the least vile when I eat those. It doesn't feel as bad because it's not like nougat and milk chocolate. Well, I guess it is nougat. That's caramel. It's caramel and peanuts. That's the whole thing. Yeah, I like Paydays. I'm slowly but surely making my way through all those. No, nobody bought Baby Ruths. Oddly enough, I had them on the list, but nobody went. I love Baby Ruths. I absolutely fuck with Baby Ruths. But nobody seemed on board with buying Baby Ruths. Baby Ruth? I'm doing my part. Dude, okay, so Baby Ruth is nougat, I think a little bit of caramel, peanuts, and then they dip the whole thing in chocolate. Baby Ruths slap. Honestly, I like Baby Ruths very much. I like Baby Ruths like quite a bit. It is a, you know, it is definitely its own thing. It's a lousy Payday without enough salt. Paydays don't even have chocolate or nougat. What are you talking about, all these Payday apologists? Like, I'm sitting here eating Paydays almost every single day, and I like them just fine. But to say that Paydays and Baby Ruths are essentially the same thing is like saying that Homer's Odyssey and a tree are the same thing because they're just made out of the same ingredients. The Iliad and this elm tree are essentially the same thing. They're both made out of wood. A Payday is what are you talking about? I don't dislike either one of these candy bars, but the logic is fallacious at best. Stop everything you're doing. Here's our Payday. Taffy, what's on the inside? Absolutely nothing. What you see is what you get. It's fine. It's caramel and peanuts. The end. Apparently, they saw that Baby Ruth was doing something similar and said, hey, look, it's the Baby Ruth Payday. We heard some of you weirdos on the fringe like chocolate. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna put them side by side. Baby Ruth. Images. There's a nougat center. It's like saying that bacon and a BLT are the same thing because they both have bacon. There's a nougat center and chocolate. It's like saying a cheese quesadilla and stacked nachos are the same thing. They're not. They're both good. I like them both very much. I like the simplicity of this. But these two things are not the same. Fallacious sounds like it's dick sucky. Just chiming in with that. It can be. This argument's a little dick sucky if it used too much teeth. Both things are a peanut delivery mechanism. Baby Ruth is just worse at it. I am faster to put Snickers and Baby Ruths in the same category. Snickers and Baby Ruths fall into the same buckets. I have to try to get my mind back into this Isaac run because this whole... I can respect saying that you think paydays are better than Baby Ruth's.
Wait! We need you! Your son
This is the story of the
needs
newest
you.
denizen of the cave.
Doing more harm than good.
But I can't get on board with this whole up is down, down is up mentality.
Please don't leave us!
Claiming that these are roughly the same candy bars somehow. As somebody who's eaten an awful lot of both reasonably recently. Such a chocolate apologist, chocolate fucking slaps. I'm gonna go do some light packing. Alright, I'm gonna finish this stream today around 3:30 or so. And then I'll probably head over to your place so that Amber can meet the cats. So I would say between 3:30 and 5 is when we're probably gonna be over there. Because we still gotta come back and cook dinner after that. Ah, I like chocolate very much. Ah, we're capped out on tears. Alright, I'll let you know. Yeah. Marie, tier 1, 29 months. I'm trying to think of what, like, my favorite non-chocolate... Not dessert, because it's just cheesecake. Raid boss down, I guess. Oops. But I'm trying to think of what my most common candy bar, like my most favorite non-chocolate candy bar is. I like stupid stuff though. I like stuff that I admit is not good. Like I like Bit-O-Honeys. I don't like them enough to like make them my only candy bar for like a month. I won't fish them out of like a candy bowl if that's what somebody's offering up at Halloween. If it's like Mr. Good Bar sitting next to a Bit-O-Honey, I'm gonna get the Mr. Good Bar. But I won't turn down Bit-O-Honey. Heath bars? Those are very toffee-y, aren't they? Yeah, Big Bear Kraus. I like Bit-O-Honeys very much. This motherfucker's out to kill us. That's right, we'll just hide over here. I've never had a Mary Jane. Somebody was talking about Mary Janes the other day. Oh shit, I just walked right by it like a dipshit. I didn't have to do any of that rest of that floor. Yeah, is Heath bars are toffee-y, right? I don't generally get down with toffee-y. Toffee-esque stuff. It gets stuck in my teeth. It's the same reason I've kind of rolled off of Milk Duds a little bit. Yeah, sure. I like the flavor of Heath. I like Heath. Heath is a popular Blizzard flavor, is it not? Mary Janes are what you give your kid brother when you have to share your Halloween candy. Here, you get the Boston Baked Beans, the Mary Janes, and the Bit-O-Honeys, and the Milk Duds, and I'll hold on. I'll hold on to the Snickers. Yeah, I like Heath as a Blizzard topping. My mom used to be like, "Hey kids, guess what? I've got candy." And we'd be like, "Ooh, candy." And she'd be like, "I've got Score bars." I'm just gonna have a carrot instead. Thanks, Mom. I can get by with Three Musketeers. I think I'm in the same point. I'm at the same point in my life Misdirected. Every time I open up a Three Musketeers and take a big bite of it, I'm like, I like this better as a kid. I don't think I'm going to win this fight, but I'm sure going to give it my best effort. It's very bright. Ah. No, sir, I didn't like it. Oh, that was close. don't like any of it. Get away from me, you monster! I'd rather you do that than the Beyblade shit. Woo! God damn. Nate still has a crate of taffine. Holy shit. Chris, what's going on, homie? I don't gotta no-hit it, but I gotta one-hit the rest of it. It's the power of the fresh haircut. Let's go! I actually think I get to two-hit this. Be cool, Taffy. Be cool. Fucking fucker. Just don't get hit anymore. Don't get hit again. It's fine. Just don't get hit. Again. You know how this goes. You know how they... Very scary. Be cool, honey bunny. Oh no! Fuck! I genuinely thought that green pillar was gonna be an inch to the right. I thought, let's see if I can. I thought that this pillar was gonna come up right here. And instead it came up and pinned me against the left-hand side. It's kind of fair, like that. I feel like that run made it much farther than it should have based on its merit. Yeah, I just had nowhere to go. Oh well. I'm bummed. I'm not mad, but I'm bummed. I think if I've not been playing sharp today. My gameplay has not been crisp. If I was crisp, I think I'd beat this. That said, with only 11 bombs, I actually might get roasted by the first version of the Beast.